The call of courage. Courage is not rare. It is not heroic. It is not loud. Courage is quiet, and that is why most people miss it. It shows up in ordinary moments. Moments when fear whispers, "Not now." Moments when comfort says, "Stay where you are." Courage does not scream. It waits, and it asks only one thing. Will you act anyway? Fear does not disappear. Fear never leaves before courage arrives. That's the lie we believe, that one day we'll feel ready. One day we'll feel confident. One day fear will finally go away. But fear does not go away. Courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is movement with fear beside you. The bravest people in history were not fearless. They were simply unwilling to let fear decide their future. Comfort is a silent prison. Comfort feels safe. Comfort feels reasonable. Comfort feels harmless. But comfort slowly shrinks your life. It keeps you quiet when you should speak. It keeps you still when you should move. It keeps you small when you're meant to grow. A comfortable life without courage becomes a life of regret. And regret is heavier than fear. The cost of waiting. Waiting feels smart. Waiting feels patient. Waiting feels responsible. But waiting has a cost. Opportunities close quietly. Time passes without warning. And one day, you realize the moment you were waiting for has already passed. Courage acts before certainty, because certainty rarely comes first. Standing alone. One of the hardest things a human being can do is stand alone, not because we are weak, but because we are social. We fear being judged. We fear being misunderstood. We fear being rejected. But history reminds us of this truth. Courage often looks lonely at first. The people we admire today were doubted yesterday. Courage is not angry. Courage is not shouting. Courage is not aggression. Courage is not force. True courage is calm. It speaks clearly. It acts deliberately. It knows when to push and when to endure. Sometimes courage means stepping forward. Sometimes courage means standing still. Sometimes courage means walking away. Strength is not always loud. Failure is not the end. Failure does not mean you are weak. Failure means you tried. The real danger is not failing once. It is allowing failure to convince you to stop. Courage does not ask, "What if I fail?" Courage asks, "What will I learn?" Every failure carries information, and every lesson strengthens the next attempt. Small courage builds great courage. Most courage is not dramatic. It is making the difficult call, saying no when you should, apologizing, beginning again. Small acts of courage train the soul. And one day, when life demands more from you, you will be ready because you practiced. Identity is shaped by action. Every time you act bravely, you send yourself a message. I can handle hard things. Over time, courage becomes identity, and identity becomes destiny. You do not become courageous by thinking. You become courageous by doing. The price of courage. The price of courage is discomfort. The price of cowardice is regret. Discomfort fades. Regret stays. Courage hurts now, but it heals later. The final call. Courage is calling today, not tomorrow, not someday. Today. You do not need confidence. You do not need certainty. You do not need permission. You only need to move once, and then again,